Hi, friends. It's Brandi of Brandi Michelle. Really excited to talk to you all today about infinite possibilities. This is an amazing topic because we oftentimes are really limiting ourselves in terms of what's possible for our lives. So let's talk about how we should shift our mindset to infinite possibilities. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. First and foremost, I'd love for all of you to find me at www.brandymichelle.com. I publish journal entries on the 1st and 15th of every month, and I would absolutely love for you to receive those. You can also learn more about my course, The Joy Blueprint, which is a beautiful program. It's 30 days, starts on the first Monday of every single month. There's this beautiful community. We have weekly coaching calls that I lead where you can come in and ask any questions and be coached directly. And there are 20 lessons that you will receive, as well as exercises that are going to help you embody each and every lesson. And if you are committed to your own joy, to your own happiness, no matter where your starting point is, this is going to help you increase your happiness set point, because it's going to give you kind of the playbook of all the things that are hindering you from being the best version of yourself, right? And then you can take these lessons and continue to apply them, right? It's always about peeling back the layers of the onion. All right. So this is like so universal, our topic today. As we're going through, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the chat and I will be searching that. Also, if you have any thoughts later, you can come back and leave them here. I'm always reviewing the chat to see what people have to say. So thank you so much for making time to listen. Okay, so each and every single one of us has this reservoir of potential, which is oftentimes untapped, right? But it is absolutely waiting to be discovered. And the best way to discover this potential is through this journey of self awareness, making sure that you have a really beautiful understanding of your own strengths. And from that perspective, you're going to move into this understanding that your potential is indeed infinite, right? We have this infinite possibilities of what can occur in our experiences, right? And oftentimes we like create these walls, they're invisible, but they're there. And it precludes us from really having the life of our dreams. So, two barriers. One, let's talk about kind of societal and familial expectations. I actually wrote about this in my journal entry for the first of the month, and we should touch on it here, right? We kind of grow up with these predetermined roles. Oftentimes, society puts them on us, and then our family like reinforces it, and then we come to have these kind of deep-seated beliefs, right? We're told who we can be, we're told who we should be, we're often told what we want to be, right, and how we should act and really perform, right? And so these roles can really create our self-belief, and they oftentimes also limit our aspirations, like what we choose to want to do, right? And so you hear this all the time, like with artists who, didn't really explore their artistic skills because they felt as though, artists couldn't be successful. And so now you find someone who's, a doctor or a lawyer in finance or business or some other lane, even though like their true love was art. And I was speaking to someone the other day, and she asked me very directly, like, well, what do you do when you find that you're excellent at something, but that your heart isn't 100% into it? And my response was very direct, that if you are excellent at something that your heart isn't 100% into, imagine how amazing you will be at the very thing that moves your soul, right? And so we want to shift into doing that which we are meant to do, right? We all have a calling here on this planet, and we all are able to deliver something to the world in a very unique manner that only you are able to give. And that is best done from this place of self awareness so that you can have fulfillment and you can be on purpose with your life's dreams, right? The second thing that really precludes us from kind of exploring these infinite possibilities that are available to us are these kind of inner doubts and limiting beliefs. And oftentimes, these two things are correlated, right? These societal and familial and cultural expectations are highly correlated with kind of inner doubts and limiting beliefs, right? So we have these past experiences that are inclusive of success and failure, and they mold our current mindset. So we might find ourselves kind of held back from fear of failure, and that very fear keeps us from realizing what we truly can achieve, what is truly possible for us, right? And so oftentimes people believe that they are driven by fear, but there's always going to be this ceiling that fear creates, right? And when you can release that fear, release those limiting beliefs, and approach life from this perspective of possibility, then you'll really be able to achieve kind of greatness in this beautiful way, right? And so let's talk about, right, how we can overcome some of those factors, right? Um, First of all, it's really just knowing that someone has achieved the very thing you're looking to achieve, right? So we can oftentimes look at the world through this lens of who has failed at what I want to do, or through this lens of what do the majority of people look like, sound like, act like, come from, who are doing the thing of which I may want to explore. And that is very limiting in nature. I instead encourage you to really shift that perspective and identify just one human who is doing the very thing that you aspire to do that looks like you. And then remind yourself, well, then that is also possible for me, right? And it's just a much more empowering way to go about the world, right? And you're going to feel much more fulfilled if you always have kind of this beacon, this light, this human who has done the very thing that you're looking to do. So for me, like, I keep pictures of people in a special album in my iPhone who have done really amazing things that I too would aspire to do, right? Not the exact same way, but similarly, right? And that allows me to keep my eye on the ball, right? And from there, we want to work on, through kind of mindset work, having this deep seated belief in ourselves. I think I've said to you guys many times, right? Like, I have this belief that my success is inevitable, right? And so that belief is in service to all that I embark on, right? And so we must recognize and appreciate the strengths that we have, very similar to the way that we recognize and appreciate the strengths of others, right? And so you want to treat yourself the same way you treat your best friend. And from that place, again, your success will start to be inevitable, right? And so what will happen when you start to think this way, right? When you start to think about yourself from this perspective of, I can do all that I commit to, and when you start to be more persistent, right, through challenges, and see yourself kind of defying the odds and silencing kind of that inner critic. And when you silence the inner critic, the external critic is also much more quiet, right? And so we embark on this path, and then you'll start to see you're going to sit up a little bit straighter. You're going to have a lot more commitment to what is possible, right? And when you embrace your own endless potential, right, like, that is the first step of the entire staircase, right? And you're going to have less stress in your life. You're going to have a deeper sense of satisfaction, and it really empowers you to live a more fulfilled life, right? And that mindset isn't going to just impact you, right? It's going to impact the entirety of your environment, right? So your loved ones, your friends, your broader community are all going to benefit from this perspective, right? And so there's many things that we can do to start to shift our mindset, many of which I have shared in the past, right? So meditation is a really beautiful way to quiet your mind and to clear it, right? Since the majority of our thoughts every single day have kind of this negative lens to them, the quieter our mind is, the more we can have this perspective of success in our brains, right? So we want to get really good at quieting our mind, and we want to get really good at feeling these high vibration emotions. And you can, connect those high vibration emotions with affirmations if you want. You can connect those high vibration emotions with kind of this visual picture of what you're looking to achieve. But all of these things are going to help you move from, excuse me, pardon me, it's going to help you move from this place of being like afraid to fail and in this fearful state to this place where you're going to see infinite possibilities, right? And so when we raise our frequency, when we raise our vibration, we automatically see more ways to be successful. And from there, your success, like mine, becomes inevitable, right? So I want you to think over these next handful of days till we get together again about the untapped power that you have. The barriers that you face oftentimes are of your own making, but they're not permanent. Nothing is permanent in this world. So I invite each of you to really dive deeper into your own potential and move through those barriers to see that you have infinite possibilities in your life and that you're able to achieve the very thing that will bring you the most joy, right? So you're going to not just like shift your life, but you're going to elevate your life in this really beautiful way. And you're going to be happier, you're going to be more fulfilled, and you're going to be able to connect more to the world in this loving way, right? So let's all release the limits that we have imposed on ourselves and take it to the next level. And never ever forget that you are the change that you want to see in the world. And really, changing the world is an inside job. And once each of us contribute our best and highest self to the world will not help but to be a better place. So never forget that changing the world is an inside job that starts with each of us. And imagine a world where there's 8 billion really happy people. And then let's go. Wishing you all an amazing day, an amazing weekend, sending you so much love. Thank you for making time here with me today. Bye now.